The Chargers are talking big when it comes to potential head coaches, but can they strike it big? I want to make a half-assed defense of Chip Kelly today. And both LA teams in MLS acquire new goalies. Good morning. I'm James. This is the daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the faithful Angelenos morning report. And I gotta be honest with you, it's December 30th, 2023. Yesterday, for only the second time in the history of this channel, I did not post. And the reason for that, I got jacked up. I was hurt on the job. Too much in pain to actually take notes. So I apologize. I try to keep you guys up to date. We're gonna pick up where we left off. We also added new subscribers to the Angeleno Familia. Thank you for getting in on the ground floor. And if you'd like being in the know about LA, clickety-clack the like button. Click the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It lets you know we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And by all means, comment. Because as you guys know, I do reach back to you. Now, before we go through the news and notes, look at the scoreboard. Paul George scored 23 points, and the Clippers defeated Memphis 117-106. But Kawhi Leonard missed his fourth consecutive game with a hip bruise. Time to get a second opinion on that bad boy. Meanwhile, today, good schedule of games. The Lakers are in Minnesota at 5 o'clock. Edmonton is going to be playing the Kings at Crypto.com Arena at 7 o'clock. And both local colleges are playing. UCLA is at Oregon. That game is at 1. And USC is at Oregon State. That'll be at 7. So I was a wee bit skeptical of the idea of the Chargers actually going big game hunting for a head coach because they've never done that before, like ever. So pardon my skepticism, but apparently people with sources, actual legitimate newspaper reporters as opposed to random bloggers, said yeah, they really do want to go out and get themselves a big name coach this time. Now, having said that, there are 4 targets for the Chargers. Each one of them has a problem that the Chargers will have to overcome. Like, for example, you got Jim Harbaugh, the Michigan coach, right? I'm extremely skeptical because his history ever since going to Michigan has been using rumors about him returning to the NFL as leverage to renegotiate with Michigan to get a better reworked contract. He's currently doing it right now. You don't think he's mentioning the Chargers every chance he gets? Just saying. So that's one issue that the Chargers would have to overcome. Then you have Bill Belichick. He wants $25 million a year. 25 mil? Really? Come on. I know the Chargers want to go big game hunting, but even 25 million sounds like a bit of a reach. Dallas defensive coordinator Dan Quinn is a former head coach. You might remember him with the Falcons, but he is apparently being paid head coach money by Jerry Jones to be the team's defensive coordinator. So why would you leave necessarily? You get the paycheck. You don't have the pressure of being an NFL head coach. And then finally, you have one other option, Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson. The problem for him, he's going to be on a lot of team short lists. That signals that there could be a bidding war that the Chargers might not necessarily win. You don't land one of those 4, then you're going after a bunch of retreads, a bunch of lesser known coordinators out there. And that doesn't exactly send the message that they wanted to send this offseason. Other Chargers notes, Keenan Allen and Joey Bosa have both been ruled out for Sunday's game at Denver. And kudos to Sebastian Joseph Day. He has landed on his feet. He has sided with San Francisco after the Bolts basically cut him outright on Christmas Eve. I want to play devil's advocate if Satan wore powder blue. Could money be why Chip Kelly keeps the gig at UCLA? Or more accurately, the lack of money over with UCLA? Consider this. Athletic director, sorry, it's still on pain meds. Athletic director Martin Jarmond has been working himself sick trying to balance the books ever since he took the job in the first place. If you recall, due to mismanagement of the school's finances by previous administrators, the Bruins athletic department was over $100 million in debt as recently as about 2 years ago. So this poor guy's been trying to find as many nickels and dimes under the couch cushions as he can. That definitely means there's not a whole lot of extra money to spend on upgrading facilities, all kinds of things you could do to improve the football team. Meanwhile, UCLA doesn't even really have a competitive NIL thing going, which really would be a nice thing to have, considering how often Kelly is relying on the transfer portal to build a team. So is it possible that Jarmond is saying to himself, we keep handicapping Chip Kelly. He doesn't have enough funding to really run a program the way he would probably want to run it. And yet the Bruins are kind of sort of competitive. Maybe we just have to ride this out, take our lumps in the Big Ten for the first year and a half, and then we'll get some money back into the coffers, and then we'll figure it out. Just a thought. You can tell me if I'm full of crap. It wouldn't be the first time. This is a puzzling move to me, but if you are an LAFC guy, maybe you give your front office the benefit of the doubt. Goalie Hugo Lloris, who spent 11 and a half years with Tottenham Hotspur over in the Premier League, he's coming to LAFC on a 1-year deal. Here's what makes it odd. LAFC already had one of the league's top goalies in Maxime Crépeau. So does this signal another move maybe? Maybe pedal off Crépeau and get some sort of leverage on a future trade? I don't know, but it just seems like a very strange thing to upgrade something that was already a strength. The Galaxy have also potentially upgraded at goalie. They have signed John McCarty as a free agent. Now McCarty, if the name rings a bell, he played for LAFC. If you recall MLS Cup in 2022, McCarty came off the bench and basically saved LAFC after Crépeau's leg shattered in a really gruesome collision. McCarthy also started a career-high 25 games while Crépeau rehabbed. So it's potentially a sneaky good move, potentially, by the Galaxy. He's never actually been the unchallenged number one goalie before. As longtime viewers know, I had this dry erase board back at my place where I would poke fun at the Scribes for all of their buck wild Dodger rumors. The Dodgers in this offseason were allegedly pursuing 38 dudes. 38. And you just knew it was crap. You knew it wasn't going to happen. We can cross one more and possibly two names off of that list. Starting pitcher Lucas Giolito signed with the Red Sox, so he's off the list. Relief pitcher Josh Hader allegedly wants a contract worth $100 million for 3 outs. $100 million. Do you really think the Dodgers are going to sign somebody to get 3 outs for $100 million? Color me skeptical. James Outman and Bobby Miller, by the way, got a bump in pay. You might find that hard to believe, but it's not $100 million. The two of them together combined were like $980,000. That's money a little better spent, wouldn't you say? At what point does USC basketball push the panic button? Oh, they're popular. They were trendy. You know, there they were playing to sold out crowds. Oh, hey, look, guys, there's LeBron watching his son. Hey, they're in Auburn, and there's Charles Barkley. And they're 6-6. They lose today, they're under 500, guys. The players, by the way, they even got together and held a players-only meeting to try to hash things out. Normally, you come out of those meetings, you're like breathing fire. You can't wait to take it out on the next opponent. And then they lost to Oregon. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that Arizona's class of the Pac-12, but I'm not trying to talk Pac-12 titles with USC basketball. I'm trying to talk, are they even going to make it to March Madness at this rate? Wouldn't that be crazy? Andy Enfield gets them to March Madness for the most consecutive seasons that USC has ever had. Now he's got more talent than he ever had over at USC, and they're piddling along at 500. You explain that to me. You make it make sense. I can't. Pierre-Luc Dubois pretty much has not earned his keep in the first half of the NHL season. He hasn't been crappy for the Kings, but he's been inconsistent. Now, they have responded, the Kings have, by taking responsibilities away from him. For example, he's been dropped to a lesser line. You know, he's now centering a line with Alex Laferriere and Arthur Kaliev, and he's also lost his spot on the power play unit to Quinton Byfield. So, Kings are sending messages. They know they have talent on that roster, and they'll pay you, but you better produce or you too are not going to survive on the top line. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Talk to me about what you think the Chargers can land if they actually are going for a big name coach. Does my half-assed argument in favor of Chip Kelly make any sense, or do you think I'm on way too many hallucinogens? If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We're talking LA sports every single day here. Thank you for watching. I'm James. Unless I get hurt again, I'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Quian Corte El Queso production. Take care.